about that. Okay, here we go. I'm hitting live. So now I think it's broadcasting. It's broadcasting. I've got my computer in front of me. I've got my big screen over here. And now let's see. I'm going to refresh my Facebook screen to make sure. And then people are going to leave comments and let us know if they can hear us. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Janet Trevino of down in Texas. Don't mess with Texas. And today I'm doing a bunch of, it was just a fun little project. Like, let's interview people who've actually been to camp. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Reid Mihalko from readaboutsex.com. I'm a creator of Sex Geek Summer Camp. And Janet is an esteemed Sex Geek Summer Camp alumni. And I want to hear about like your world and business and how things are going and what do you do so that people who are meeting you for the first time can hear about your amazing work. And then I'm, we'll interview for 20 minutes or so, but like then we can talk about like camp and how camp helped, if at all. But let's talk about you first, Janet. And thank you so much for being generous with your time and jumping on to technology with me. But you're like, I do this all the time.
I'm a pro.
You're a
Why?
pro.
Geek Summer Camp. That's why. Anyway, so I am Janet Trevino, San Antonio, Texas, and I am a professional cuddler with Cuddlist.com, certified cuddler.
Yay.
And so I got this sentence that I need to fill in, which is I do platonic touch liberation, because it is a liberation movement. We can't have platonic and empowering mutual consent, right, for sex ed. But it's not really, it is sex, it's actually sexuality education. And then as I was thinking about it, no, this is human education. What we need to do is create, teach people how to be human. It is human to want to touch. It is human to ask for touch. Normal, and we need to normalize the conversation around platonic touch. Still seen it weird and gross and why. That's a big part of what kind of responses that we get nationally. But people that heard me, watch my videos on YouTube, go Janet Trevino, look up Cuddlist. You'll find my over 70 videos that I have talking about this, and there's no doubt, and my clients say there's no doubt that this is therapeutic, empowering, awesome, amazing work that we're doing. All over the country, really. Cuddlists are all over the country, and I'm here in South Texas.
And how's the cuddling going in South Texas? I mean, like, is it, do people like connect to it immediately, or do people give you like that weird look? I mean, I know with Cuddle Party, when Marsha Baczynski and I created Cuddle Party, like morning DJs and TV shows like couldn't believe that New Yorkers were spending money to cuddle. And then, like we were doing it like as a workshop, and now you're doing like one-on-one cuddling. And so like, how's that landing on people?
Well, the people that contact me wanting it, it's like they know. They're like, yes, this is what we're waiting for. We've gone to strip joints for years wanting just touch, but, getting the whole package, right? Dancers. And we've been going to escorts, and we've been we've just wanted connection, and we just wanted touch. Like, it's so simple, but there wasn't something out there for them. Sure. And now, whoa, you're here. We've been waiting for you. Where have you been? And the moment after a session, once they leave, the intense amount of grief and sadness that comes because it's been void, because it hasn't. And now half of my work is actually dealing with them. Part of it is touch. It's empowering touch, right? But it's also with, how do I live with the immense amount of grief that I have, that I've been married for 40 years and haven't been touched in 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And sex isn't even, that everyone's concerned about sex and arousal. It's like, that is not a concern when you're dealing with people that haven't been touched.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember in New York City back in the Cuddle Party days, in 2004, and for people watching, like, Cuddle Party still all over the world. Like there's different countries, it's taught in different languages. It didn't go away, but I went into more sex education. I remember seeing a woman getting one of, it was like a street fair. She was getting a massage in one of those massage chairs, like, and she looked very like power New Yorker businesswoman. And she was just crying and crying, and you could just feel the grief. Like here was somebody who was just so busy trying to make ends meet and build their career that they just weren't getting any kind of like nurturing touch. And for some people, I mean, massage works really well, but sometimes you just want to be held. And your massage, person isn't supposed to climb up on the table and spoon you. Like that's not allowed.
Well, and that's not even allowed in escort, people that do escort work or people that do tantric massage or erotic massage, because that's going beyond their boundaries.
Yeah.
Emotional work. And so for people that do physical work, that's where they're experts in, and they need to stay there. But this is emotional, moving into an area that most practitioners are not trained in and don't know how to handle.
So what, for people, well, first off, like for people who are interested, who are watching and they're like, oh my goodness, like maybe I'm a career cuddler. Like what would you tell them to do, like to figure out if they would make a good cuddler? Like how like what are things to watch out for? Because I could imagine not everybody is wired maybe or good at the emotional piece, because it's not just spooning somebody, it's like holding space for somebody.
Right. I would say not necessarily the people that say, oh, I love giving people hugs. That's not necessarily it. And I get a lot of that, like, touch people now. And you need to also have your touch needs met. So you need to feel good about the relationships in your life and have the support you need in your life to do this work. I don't get my met through I have other sources for that. And then I guess the next would be knowing good boundaries, like knowing how to say no and knowing how to say yes and feeling good about your skin and being good about your body. There's all sorts of body types in cuddling, and I love that. So out of that needs to be there. You feel comfortable having your body see your body in a non-sexual.
Sure. Well, and again, like that's the thing. Like people think touch has to be sexual, and receiving touch has to be sexual, and that's not. Like collapsing touch to immediately mean sex. Like that's like American culture is just screwed up like that. Can I ask might be a weird question coming from a cisgendered white guy. Is in Texas, and for yourself, and because I know you, but like as a Latina, how is Latin culture? How are they better cuddlers or worse than like white folks? Or I mean, I don't know what the right question is to ask, but do you notice cultural differences about cuddling?
It's funny because I would say, all right, so the idea is, at least in I'll say my experience, my culture.
Yeah.
When we give a saludo, which is like a greeting, right?
Yeah.
We kiss people on the cheek, which people think, wow, that is so intimate, but we don't give hugs. So when I see my mom and dad, I don't give them I give my mom and dad a hug, but like an aunt, uncle, cousins, it's only cheek. And it's not even like a kiss on the cheek. It's a cheek touch. And you might make the sound. So there is no hugging. It's way more intimate. Right. So I have clients who will say, and they're of Latino descent or Mexican American, who will say, I don't get any touch in my family. And it's, like, especially men, because I deal with mostly men. That's,
wow.
These are family cultures that are really close and touchy and stuff, but it's it's culturally, again, there's the same bullshit we get everywhere, right? Where it's men are, especially Latino men, are macho and sexualized and can get emotional and vulnerable. So then you have that barrier there as well.
Wow.
So,
well, no, thank you for asking. I mean, thank you for answering that. It's always a clunky question for me to ask, but it's like, it's so interesting how cultures differ. where, in some cultures, men to men, men holding hands is fine. In other cultures, no. Some cultures, touching women or being affectionate with a opposite sex is fine. In other cultures, no. So it's always like I didn't know any of that when Cuddle Party started, and then I think that there are similar things that can happen around sex education too, right? Like just talking about sex. And, we think Americans are so free with our sexuality, but when you actually slow it down and talk to people, there's so much shame and sex negativism. And then because sex and touch, affectionate touch are collapsed, there's like affection touch negativism or, something like that.
It's like we put sex, okay, sex shouldn't be in so many spaces, right? Like sex shouldn't be in talking with children or sex, all these places sex doesn't belong. But then we put sex in places. Anyway, it's like it's all mixed up. Much sexual, and our media is very sexual, and our shows are sexual. But you better not talk about it.
Yeah.
You better put things in categories that it doesn't match. It doesn't make sense.
So.
Summer Camp. Do you want me to talk about?
Yeah. I'm saying like we can shift gears because I know Cuddlist, and Adam and Madeline and a lot of the people behind Cuddlist, and Madeline, came, I guess through Cuddlist, but through Cuddle Party. So I knew Madeline from Cuddle Party days. How did camp help you with leverage or harness or augment all the awesome training from Cuddlist?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's just go back.
Or which came first? Was it Cuddlist first and then camp, or camp then Cuddlist?
Camp, and then I've gone to camp now 2 years in a row. So camp is number 3. I missed the first, but when it got good the second time around, I was there. This will be my 3rd year going this summer. So I will say I started with Cuddle at the end of last summer, and it came about because there are people who I met at Sex Geek Summer Camp, and when I talk about Cuddlist and how did you find out about this, I will reference Sex Geek Summer Camp. Sometimes I'll say, sometimes I won't, depending on the person I'm talking to, because I see the word sex freaks out.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that I met 2 other campers who are alums, Michelle and Amanda, and they're both Cuddlists. So following them on Facebook and like listening, and then of course seeing Amanda this past summer, and thinking about it again. Camp, number 1, hands down, networking. Right away. Like you're meeting, 60 to 80 people who are in this industry, and I say sexuality industry in one way or another, and the way that we can talk and collaborate, and like that's, even if you pay, that's worth $500. Like just going and talking to a bunch of people about their work is phenomenal. But then let's get into like the actual things I learned. Just in seeing you read, seeing how you are so out there and unashamed, and just honest about the work that sexuality, the work that we can do in the world, and that honesty gives people bravery, right? Like, wow, I can be honest like that too, and I can be brave like that. And I think that the feeling that's underlying camp is that not alone, and that we can be honest and we can make money, like constantly actually make money. So then then it became like, well, who am I? What is it that I'm bringing to this, that like you come in with a moment of a thought of scarcity, like, okay, I'm going to do sex ed, let's say. And you think, well, everyone else is doing sex ed too. So how am I going to compete? Like, you feel like this, but then once you go to camp, you're like, but no, there's no one like me. There's no one that has, no one that can do what I can do. There's no one that can write like I write, or do videos, or that can do podcasts like I do, or there's no one that can, like, I am unique. So you go from like seeing you and seeing how you are, and then realizing I'm just like Reid. Like Reid is really good at a lot of things, and he sucks at a lot of things too. Wow, like
it's totally true.
Right? And you're like, okay, I'm really good at a lot of things, and I'm really sucky at a lot of things, and do you and do what you're good at. Like, and I'm like, put my love into and my passion towards And it was randomly like, pick a topic. Like there was a moment with you, Reid, that I think I even asked the question, like, how did you come up with the things that you work with, like your topics? And you said, it's stuff that I've struggled with. It's stuff that I've worked through. And that was like a moment of like a flash of like, wow, what are the things that I've struggled with, like in my own sex life, sexuality, and I can speak from that place. You get to then have these, how do you, and how do you write to someone and try to engage them to come and join you? It's like, you've been through it. Like you don't have to make anything. Like you know what it's like at 3 a.m. waking up and going, what the fuck am I doing with my life, right? Like you've been there. And so I mean, camp really takes you through empowering, first of all, just seeing what other people are doing, empowering yourself, and then seeing what you can contribute to the world, and then putting it on paper, and then hopefully going home and I have a program, right? Like I know where I'm going. And then that confidence, of course, I realized I'm really good at video. Like I love video. It's fun. Yay! Go to my YouTube channel. Like I love it. It's easy for me. Yeah, and so that's just kind of, and then I've done other things, but like something that I've learned with I do marketing. So with Cuddlist, you go train, go to Cuddlist to get trained, and you have community, but you do your own marketing, and you do your own, whatever it is that you do to get the word out about yourself. And for me, again, camp gave me all the tools I needed to know how to write my copy. So like write what I'm about and what I'm doing. It gave me the tools to feel, a lot of strength around doing videos. That's something that I enjoy doing. Speaking, again, camp helps you figure out those things, and then you just walk into it, and then you do the things you're good at, and the things you're not good at, like what Reid does, you find someone else to do it. That's it. That's it. Simple. Aww. Don't do things that don't work for you. Have someone else do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, and that was going to be my next question, like for you. What and this doesn't have to be camp specific at all, but like what was the breakthrough for you from having your passion to help people and then taking it to a paycheck, right? We came up with Jiminique and I said that in the last call. I'm like, oh my God, like write that down. We'll have to teach that at camp. But like, what was if you had to pick one moment, like where were you able to take your passion and then turn it into making money? I mean, and again, like I'm not making this all about money, but a big struggle for a lot of workshop facilitators and teachers and bloggers and stuff is, how do I pay my bills doing this?
So I think first it was fearlessness, and being fearless in front of failure. That year, last year, I started the year, it was going to be my year of failure. I was going to do everything I could to fail because I was afraid of failure. And so I thought, well, I'm setting myself up to fail as much as I can because that's the quickest way I can figure out what I'm good at and what's gonna work for me. So I didn't want to be afraid anymore. And so I did. I tried everything. I explored everything. And thankfully, again, because I knew of programs and new things out there, I learned about Cuddlist. But I didn't gravitate towards Cuddlist thinking, oh, I'd be a great cuddler. That wasn't, I thought, well, something to, like, I was like, well, another thing to try. Not just try it out. It was pretty inexpensive at the time to just do the training. And that was it. Like, I just wasn't afraid of trying things and wasn't afraid of boring and going out there. And even if I didn't get paid, just try it out. Like, see what it feels like. And I think that's the thing that keeps people from trying things is because they're like, well, what if I fail?
Yeah.
That's a quick way of learning. That's not for you.
Sure. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my way.
So I'm going to bring this in for a landing. Before we forget, where do people find you? Where do they go to find you?
Well, of course, Facebook is great. So message me on Facebook if that's convenient for you. And also to my website changed because I'm moving away from the sexy stuff because I am now the Cuddlist healthcare. I'm the director of their healthcare division. I'm now a director.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, this is huge. I'm taking this work into corporate America. I'm looking to make those changes into different industries, and looking at our veterans and looking at our senior living facilities. And so as I move in that way, I understand that I need to let go of some of the things that I've enjoyed doing, talking about sexy stuff, right? Trying to find the balance. And so janettrevino.com is my website, and it still has some sexy stuff on there, has the cuddling stuff, but I'm just needing to kind of shift things a bit.
Sure.
There's my website, but of course, Facebook is great. The website, you can find ways to contact me. Go to my YouTube channel though, because I think that's the best, because it's all content is there.
Well, I want to acknowledge you for all that you've accomplished, and also, again, like you are a brilliant marketer. Being savvy with needing to focus the cuddling things on cuddling so that organizations and people feel safe. Talking about affectionate touch, which can feel very confusing and unsafe for people. So I know, you and I have talked about before, like freedom of expression, and you should be able to, live a shame-free life. And how do you be appropriate with people where they're at so that they can take those baby steps and start living a life that has more freedom and more choice and more agency in it. So thank you for being so mindful with human beings. Like, I appreciate that. I really do.
You do a thing at camp, which is like how to get sponsorship, and like, and most now it's more, again, sexy kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, how do we get sponsorship for Cuddlist? Like pillows, bedding. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I figure this out now.
Yeah. I'm all about the swag, and how do you create branding that helps people remember, because they brought a pillowcase home or something, that they can get the touch that they want in their life, and it doesn't make them a bad person for being touch hungry, for wanting affection. Like you use branding to help people remember and anchor stuff. Like, that's just smart, and you're good like that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My new slogan is "Touch is medicine." I put my bumper sticker. So I'm thinking about. I have it out there. Touchismedicine.com. Created anything. I just bought the domain, but
that's good.
Yeah, like, again, as I move into healthcare, like this, it is right now we need treatments, right? Because we're not in a place in the world where we can understand full time. Right now, let's get your treatment and let's get your assessment in, right? And then we'll work on this and normalize everyday experience for you. So.
Janet, thank you so much. For people who are watching, if you want to learn more about camp, go to readaboutsexx.com/camp FAQ. That'll bring you right to information and registration. If you want free videos around business and sex education, go to sexgeeksummercamp.com, and then check out Janet's stuff and follow Janet on all the social media, because she puts out good
marketing
and is doing wonderful things for the planet. Janet, thank you so much.
I'll see you this summer.
I know. Yay. Thank you, Janet. Mwah. Bye.